Y'all, she's what are we? She's what are we all here?
In this episode of Caribbean Kaleidoscope, author Crystel Patterson wows with her new Inspired to Be series of books for children.
So growing up in Trinidad as part of a mainly Douglas family, because all my mom's generation, they're all Douglas. And then my cousins, like Auntie Judy, her kids, they look Douglas. I was the only Douglas that didn't look Douglas in my family. With my accent, everybody assuming I'm Jamaican. My best friend always tells me that my hair is perfect. That's a fact. If anybody know Marshall, please let him know I'm looking for him. My mother just came back from Trinidad. I said, as soon as she went there, I said, make sure you freeze some doubles and some pudding for me and bring it back.
Well, welcome, beautiful people out there in myKEEtv land. Hi, this is your girl Racquel. That's right, a beautiful Racquel. And I'm here today for another interview with one of the most intriguing, exciting. By the way, yes, she's fresh on the scene, brand new. She just put on her cape. She just flew down because, listen, this superhero was born in the pandemic. Yes, I am talking about the one and only Crystel Patterson, all here. Crystel Patterson. Put your hands together wherever you are. Put your hands together. Don't be so. Put your hands together. Crystel, thank you so much for joining me on myKEEtv, your Caribbean talent network, where we really love highlighting our Caribbean talent. Crystel, welcome, girl. Welcome, darling.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for that welcome and that introduction.
You are so welcome. By the way, y'all will hear everything. You'll hear her whole bio. But seriously, this is well, first, let's start with a mother, a wife, an entrepreneur, an author, and that is the reason why she's here with us on myKEEtv today, because she has been recently accomplishing some new feats, some higher heights, some deeper depths, her brand new calling, and that's why she's sitting here with us. So Crystel, darling, thank you again for joining us on myKEEtv, and just tell us a little bit about yourself, who you be, with your Caribbean heritage, who is your mother, who is all of that, because y'all, she's what are we? She's what are we all here?
Yeah, and this is my first time doing an interview with a Caribbean type of network. So I'm going to bring my full accent out, starting now. So yes, I was born and raised in Trinidad from the bush part, Moruga. I left Trinidad when I was 12, and I moved to the States to live with my mom. You might know her as Trini Dolores, all the LA folks. So
don't worry, they know she. Let me just stop you a little bit. They know her, Miss Dolores. Well done. You could make good little baby Douglas children. Well done, Trini Douglas. You could go ahead now.
Yeah, so starting at 12, I live in, the LA, San Fernando Valley, and then I moved up to NorCal. So I'm living in Sacramento now. And now as a grown woman, fast forward, I have two boys, a 4-year-old and a 9-year-old. I'm married, and I work as a technology consultant. So I'll just leave it at that. It's very confusing to explain it, but I do technology consulting. And then very recently, last year, I started writing children's books. And the reason why I started writing was because of my oldest son, Croy, last year when all the madness was happening in the midst of the pandemic and what happened with George Floyd. He started asking me a lot of tough questions. And one question in particular is what I say started me on this journey. He asked me, Mommy, why do the police keep killing Black people? Wow. And that was a hard one to try to answer. But then, I didn't want him to focus on that, the sadness of that, or even to start thinking that could be him. I wanted to start showing him something different. I wanted him to show him Black people who would thrive and doing well and having good outcomes. I wanted him to see those things. Yeah. So it was one night, it just kind of clicked in my head. Maybe I could write stories that showed him that. And just like that, I started writing a book
You
series.
started writing. I know usually, I mean, you might just tend to go there. We want to just keep some of that, hold it back a little bit, just because
Yeah.
we really love and we want to delve into a little bit of just who Crystel is. Just before you became a writer, an author, how difficult was it to make this transition from being this technology, Gil, tell them the whole word, technology consultant slash what, I mean, how easy or difficult was that? Because
Yeah.
here you are pursuing your path, and then, so tell us about that part of the journey a little
Yeah.
bit.
So I will go back to childhood. I never liked writing. I was always into the maths and science. I never liked writing. I always did my homework. I was always a great student. I always get come first in class. And when I became here, I always get A's, right? But that didn't mean to say that I liked doing the work, right? There were some subjects I enjoyed better. And so writing and reflecting and writing essays and stuff, I never really enjoyed. I was always good at it, but I never get any passion out of it. I never said, oh, I can't wait to write my next essay. That was never something that I got any kind of fulfillment out of. So having this idea to start writing wasn't something that I was like, wow, I can't wait to do it. But because of the reason why I felt like I needed to do it, I just jumped right in and started to do it. And the crazy part about it is once I did it, and once I published my first book and I started talking about it, I started to realize that I actually felt very passionate about it. And I never knew what my passion was before. Just because I do technology consulting, let me tell you, it's not something that I'm passionate about. I don't wake up every day and say, oh, I can't go wait to do that's not my passion. I do it because it pays the bills and it's a good profession to be in, right? But once I started writing these books and I started interacting with the kids who were reading the books and the parents who were buying the books, and they were telling me the impact that the books was having on their kids, and it just did something for me. So what I tell people is the technology consultant, I have 2 full-time jobs now. The technology consultant drains me because it requires a lot of brain power and energy. So it drains me. But this other job as an author, it fills me up. And so the two balance each other right now.
Besides coming from Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean, where we have top-notch educational systems, she also went to Berkeley. Berkeley is one of the most, prestigious universities here in California. So well done.
Thank you.
That. We know it's a series, but do you have like a certain amount of books that you want to write? Is there like an amount to the series? And is there like particular people you'll be looking at? I mean, can I be part of the series?
So no, that's the beauty of it. I left it open-ended because the whole premise of the series is finding the inspiration that exists out there in real life and pulling from that to write something that kids could really latch onto. So I really want to write about real people, right? And there's no limit to Black inspiration. You look around you and you see it everywhere. So anyone that I look at and I say, wow, that's a beautiful story, or that person is doing such amazing things, that could really inspire a child. I take that and I turn it into a fun little story that a child could relate to. So far, I have 3 books.
I have something to show that you know I have here. Okay. Damn, that's right. I have this book here, girlie. Yes. But more than that, let me show you the copy that I have. So where do you think I got this copy from?
Did you buy that one from my website?
Well, look at you. No, I didn't. Let me tell you how proud your family is of you, your entire Trinidadian Douglas family. So yes, I just wanted you to know that I did read your book. I did read it.
Did you like it?
Of course I did. We're going to go into it and you're going to read some of it for the people and them. So of course, but I want to ask you this. Has any of your upbringing from back home, well, you heard that she said she's from the island of Trinidad and Tobago. Has any of what you've gone through, even though it's inspired by people and everybody over here? Now, I know I don't have to ask you if you will look at the Caribbean for inspiration, because I think you naturally do that. I know, right?
That's where I was going.
But anything back home, kind of is showing forth in your writing?
Yes. Every time I write the books, it is inspired by someone in particular because I want the readers to be like, oh, I know who that person is, right? But they all have a piece of me in it. They all have a piece of me. When my close friends read them, I say, you wrote this book about yourself.
You serious?
Yeah, so it all have a lot to do with me and how I was raised and the values that I have. So they all have a little piece of me. And to your question about looking back home, and that's why I was going so far, the 3 books that I have that all kind of inspired by people here. But my 4th book, I want to do something different. And I'm a huge Marshall fan. And and every book is inspired by a real person. I would love for my 4th book to be inspired by him. So the way that I just do these books, it's fictional, right? I don't really put them in it. I don't know who know Marshall out there, but let Marshall know I'm looking for him.
I know, right?
Let him know I'm looking for him because I don't want it to be fictional, actually. I want to actually use his name in the book because I think it's so important for Trinidadians to read this book, the kids to read this and see him and what he's doing and continue to be inspired by him. I know they're already inspired by him, but his story is great. So if anybody know Marshall, please let him know I'm looking for him. I need his permission.
I love that. I love that. Now, I know that myKEEtv, we got the opportunity to sit with him a couple of years ago and chat with him about life, etc., etc. But Marshall, Corley Gill, please. Thank you very much. Corley Gill, tell us about the 1, 2, 3 flip, that one, all 3 of them, the I Am Different and the superheroes. Like, what social issue were you attempting to address in each one? And again, the inspiration for it.
Yeah. So with 1 flip, 2 flip, 3 flip, 4, that one is all about breaking down barriers, right? Like dream big, child, dream big. You see something, you find something you love doing, it becomes a passion. Work hard and set goals and dream big. Don't set any limits to yourself because you can do anything you set your mind to. And guess what? It's inspired by someone who dreamt big and she set her mind to something and she accomplished it. So that's why I want to put things, all these books to have a real person behind it because I want the child to see if they did it, I could do it too, right? The 2nd book, I Am Different. That one.
You can hold it up and show people if you have.
So they've already seen this one, right? I Am Different here. This one, it's a big social issue, right? Because so many kids feel different and bullying is real. Bullying is very real. People get picked on for the skin complexion, for the hair looking a certain way, for the name that they have, for the way they talk, whatever it is, it's always something. People always want to pick on somebody. And so that's okay. It's not going to stop. It's not going to go anywhere, right? But you know that you are beautiful, know that you are different, know that those things that make you different is what makes you you and what makes you special, right? And shut the haters up, ignore them. Don't listen to them because on this side, you have family, you have friends, you have all these other people who are lifting you up. So why focus on the negative when you could focus on the positive? And that one is actually inspired by a young lady named Karis Rogers. The 3rd book, that one is called Superheroes Here and There. And I wrote that book after Chadwick Boseman passed away. It's inspired by him. He was a real life superhero. All the things that he did, all the traits that he embodied, all the bravery he had, it just made me see him even more, not just as Black Panther, but like a real superhero that walked amongst us.
Yes. That is seriously so beautiful. Why was it important for you to write a book or series specifically addressing issues relating to Black people and Black culture? Now, I know what you'd said, but you know what? I don't want to presuppose. Just tell us about why that was important.
The book series all came out of my son asking me that question. So I was thinking about him as a Black child first and foremost, right? I just wanted to make sure I'm addressing issues to help him. But then, as I started writing and I thought about this is going to help my son see all these possibilities for himself. It's because this is going to help all these other Black kids see themselves in these characters and open up doors in their minds and new narratives, right? But at the same time, I started thinking, but what about the kids who aren't Black, right? This is gonna help show them that Black people are dope, right? This is
Bam.
gonna help show kids who
Bam.
are not Black that they can have role models who are Black. And the crazy negative images that they see in TV about Black people is not where it ends, right? So I actually started thinking, yes, I'm gonna put stories that kind of uplift Black people, but I also want kids who aren't Black to read these stories as well. So I want to put universal messages in there so they could read it, be inspired by it, and start looking up the Black people as well.
Oh my gosh, that is so profound.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I get put in a box a lot. People try to do it, but I don't let them. I say, you know, actually, these books are not just for Black people. It's for all children. I say I'm on a mission to spread Black inspiration to all children. That's what I say. The books are going to be focused on Black people. You're going to see Black characters because representation is important. We need to start showing our Black people in positive ways in these stories, but the message is going to reach every child, right? And that's what I say every time.
Wow, I love that because again, the inspiration came from a negative place initially.
Right. The thing that you just said there is another part of the vision that I saw, because when I was reading the book to my kids, it was a rhyming story. And it's a story that my younger one really likes to the point where he has it memorized, right? And as I was reading to him, I was like, well, that's crazy. He can't even read, but he might convince somebody to think he know how to read because he has the whole book memorized. Well, why does he have it memorized? Because it's an easy read, it's fun, it rhymes, it's repetitive, right? And what is gonna happen because of that? It's gonna make it memorable, right? And so if I want these stories to stick in kids' heads, I needed to be memorable. So that's why I write the way I write. I wanted to write in rhyme form. I wanted it to use a lot of repetition so that it's kind of sound like a song, you know? You can make it into a song once you read it a few times, you could kind of keep singing it. And so that's what I wanted to do because I want these books to be memorable. Here's my big brand goal. I want this generation of kids and kids who come after them to be able to say, when I was little, Inspired to Be books was always in my house. Those are the books I read, and those are the books that got me through things. Like, that's what I want for this generation and kids after them. So, I mean, it's a big goal, right? But that's what I want.
I love it. And I think it's an attainable goal because of the kind of, world that we live in where you don't have to necessarily always purchase a hard copy. You'll tell me that's true later on. But you know what? I did kind of allude to the illustrations. I want to just talk about that a little bit. As we know, it's Black, beautiful children on the cover, inside of it, etc. Who the illustrations? Where you get them thing from? Where inspired to do that? How you do that? What? That was, I love it. Nice.
Yeah, thank you. So back to the question about the steps in doing this, I had to do some research and try to figure out how to make this come true. So once I put words on paper, I'm like, okay, now what? I can't draw. I can't do anything like that.
Right.
Now, so I had to find an illustrator. So I was searching, asking around, because I wanted it to be a Black person, a woman if possible. Because I just felt like I wanted these characters to be Black and I want the features to look like Black features, you know, so I wanted a Black person to be it. And so after asking around, someone connected me with Brianna Young, and she's been the illustrator for every book in the series. She's not like no famous illustrator or anything. She's like me, learning as she goes, you know, but we work very well together.
Tell me some of the things that you want parents and as well as kids when they read your books to come away with.
Yeah. So the primary audience is the kids. But what I like to say is I put something in every book for the parent as well, right? Because I want parents to enjoy the books, because what I notice is the parents is the ones who are going to buy the books, and they're the ones who are going to read the books, right? And I know when my kids keep bringing books back to me, the same old book, and I don't like reading it, I don't want to keep reading it, you know? So I want it to be a book that the parents actually enjoy reading to them so that they want to keep reading it to them. And so for the kids, every book has its own inspiration point. So like with One Flip, for example, the message for the kids is dream big. And, parents could take that away too. Dream big. You can do anything you set your mind to. Me at 34 years old, I didn't think I was going to become an author, but I set my mind to it. And now I'm that too. But also for the parents, and I'm not trying to preach to anybody, parents, but it's kind of like a reinforcement that when you see your child get into something, right, and they like doing it, it's up to us to kind of help them make that a productive thing, right? How do you help that child channel that thing that they're interested in, right? So the little girl in the book, she flipping all around the house, right? You don't want she mash up the stuff in your house.
I was just about to say, if that was a Trini book, she would have said, hey, go outside. Go
Go
outside.
outside. Exactly.
Please. Go and climb some mango tree. Go outside on the mango tree or something.
You don't want her doing all that in the house, but find a way to let her channel that. So in this case, she mom put her in gymnastics lessons, right? And everyone around her, you can see as a community around her that's encouraging her and lifting her up so that she can continue to dream big, So every book have a lesson.
So with that said, I am going to hush my mouth. I know that's what we say back home, hush your mouth and let the people and them talk. I'm going to allow Crystel to just take it away and read a couple of excerpts for us from her book.
So this is just in the middle of the book. I'm not giving away everything. 1 flip, 2 flip, 3 flip, 4. She practiced more than ever before. Cartwheels, handstands, tucks, and pikes. She trained hard to get them right. She flips to the left. She flips to the right. She lands in a split, and it's quite a sight. To her coaches who look on and like what they see, Ruby's really good. A champion she will be. So this is the first one. 1 flip, 2 flip, 3 flip, 4. And yeah, you see her progression where she's starting to practice, and this is the coaches kind of admiring and already seeing the potential in her. And in each phase of the book, someone else is seeing potential in her and they're encouraging her. So you get to see her grow up throughout the book. So this one is from the I Am Different book. I'm going to start here, but you can see here, Racquel, here's where it has some of those talking points. It's defining the word, mixed reactions, because what's happening in this book is the kid is getting a lot of mixed reactions. Some people are complimenting them and other people are saying, ew, what's wrong with your hair? What's wrong with your skin? So they're getting mixed reactions. So I define the word and then I ask some questions that the parent could ask the kid. What are some things you get mixed reactions about? So they could start that dialogue.
I love
Someone's
that.
Here with the hair. So my hair is different, this I know. My hair is different and it shows. Some kids tease me about my hair. When they see it, they tend to stare. My hair is different, this I know. My hair is different and it shows. My best friend always tells me that. My hair is perfect, that's a fact. My hair is different, this I know. My hair is different and it shows. So mixed reactions I receive. I wonder who I should believe.
Wow, that is so awesome. Crystel, that is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing your books with us, Mama.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me show it. Yeah, so actually in the I Am Different book, the things that I decided to highlight in this book was hair, skin color, and name. And those are 3 things that I feel like I could relate to because growing up in Trinidad with my in my family, my Douglas family.
By the way, let's explain what Douglas means, because I know we've been referring to the word Douglas a lot, and a lot of people out there may not know what it means.
Yes.
Douglas is a word that we use in the island of Trinidad and Tobago, and maybe in other Caribbean islands. I'm not sure. You all can write in and tell us if it's the same. But it's a mixing of the races. It's a mixing, because I do have Douglas nephews. It's a mixing of the East Indian race with the African race.
So growing up in Trinidad as part of a mainly Douglas family, because all my mom's generation, they're all Douglas. And then my cousins, like Auntie Judy, her kids, they look Douglas. I was the only Douglas that didn't look Douglas in my family because I'm more dark skinned and I had more, thick hair. So that was something I was kind of insecure about because like, I remember my grandmother who was full-blown in Indian going to parent-teacher meeting and stuff, and the children at school saying, Crystel, that is not your grandmother, you know, because she's Indian and I'm like, you know, the darkest one in my family. So those are some things, you know, I used to get kind of called out for. And then coming to America with my accent, everybody assuming I'm Jamaican. So when I would say my name is Crystel and they would say, oh, Crystal, I would say, yeah, that's it, right? And so the name part was important to me because I think it's very important for us to say people's name correctly and don't just say what you think it is, right? And so the characters in this book all have a little piece of me because of some things that, you know, I had to deal with. And I want other kids who are dealing with it to, you know, just embrace those things about them, even if you feel a certain way about it, or if someone else tell you something about it, embrace it, you know?
If someone looking right now and they want to, you know, I want to get a book, boy, can they get, where they could get it?
Anybody could get it on Amazon, right? That's where most people go and search for something. But what I found is because a lot of people make this connection to me, they want me to sign the book. So if you're looking for a signed copy, you can get it off my website, www.CrystelPatterson.com.
We want to talk a little bit about that little thing called home. Tell us about your favorite Trinidad and Tobago things, whether it's people, person, activity. What about Trini back home that you're most proud? You hear my question at the beginning. I don't want to belabor it.
My favorite thing is food ever. You know, food. I'm always thinking about what I'm going to eat. And so, of course, food. My mother just came back from Trinidad. I said, as soon as she went there, I said, make sure you freeze some doubles and some pudding for me and bring it back. And so she's driving up this weekend to bring it to me. And I'm looking forward to it. All week I'm thinking about it. My mouth watering because the weekend coming, you know. So food. There's nothing in the world like some good Trinidadian food.
Girl, hush your mouth now, some good doubles or roti. That why your mother not answering. She told me to say it right here. I've been calling your mother, yes. Let's just say it right here. I've been calling your mother. I've been trying to surprise her and you. I was looking to see if I could have probably brought her on, but that's why she ain't answering her phone because she's probably on Maracas Beach right now, having a bacon shock.
She back. She having to work hard since she take all that time off.
Oh, I see. Okay, right. So she had to make up for the time that she was on Maracas Beach. Oh, I see. All right. Because we were trying to see if we could have surprised you with more.
That would have been awesome. Oh my gosh! But you know, my mother don't like camera. No, she don't like camera. Not like this.
It's true, but y'all, let's support our Caribbean queen, and we, Crystel, have come to the end of our liming session.
Yes.
I know, right? But I really enjoy talking to you.
I enjoy talking to you too.
Thank you so much. And for real, it was just I'm loving your Trini part of your accent. I know you could do all of it. So everybody out there in myKEEtv land, thank you so much for joining us. Not just myKEEtv land, the entire universe. Thank you for joining us on myKEEtv, your Caribbean talent network. Listen, let's support, let's love on Crystel. Go buy, purchase, share this everywhere.
Yes,
where we can really support. Share. Oh my gosh, y'all, that's it. That's what we have for you today. Thank you so much. Thank you. We go on. We go talk to you later. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Crystel.
Thank you.
Remember to share and follow #myKEETVLA, your Caribbean media network, to experience authentic Caribbean stories.